Happy Saturday, y'all. And guess what today is? It is March 1st, all day long. And it is the beginning of a new month. Yes, it is springtime. And as much as I'm happy about springtime, spring break, yeah, one of our besties is going to be here, which is called pollen, right? Our cars are going to be yellow and green no matter how many times you wash them. Your nose is going to be stuffy. People and their allergies, it's about to get ramped up. So make sure you have your allergy meds, whatever that is. Get some vitamin C, get your immune system good, juices, eating good, eating plant-based, whatever works for you, right? Get your immune system up because it is here, y'all. It is here. And also, we get our evenings of sunshine back, right? Because we spring forward. So as much as I like that, I don't like the fact that I lose an hour of sleep. Ugh, I'm gonna have to get used to that because I like my sleep, y'all. That is like one of my, how people get hangry. I don't know what the word is, but sleep is my thing. I need sleep. So I can't be a night owl and a morning dove. I can't be a morning bird and a night owl, right? I gotta be either or. And it's funny how adulting and the older I've gotten, it's like I'm up earlier and I go to bed way earlier. Like if you're texting me after 8:30, you ain't gonna hear from me probably till 5 in the morning. Like that's just where my life, my season is at. So yeah, I haven't been a night owl in a few years. And so I'm an early bird now, you know, I'm on that train and it is really nice. I'm really enjoying it. So, you know the routine. I hope you got your tea, your coffee, your OJ, your water, whatever it is that gets your day started on the right foot. Get it. Go ahead. You can take a few seconds and go get it while I take my little sip. But welcome back to Her Divine Journey with your host, me, Brandy, aka B Jules. And we are here for a new episode. So January, we talked about vision, your word of the year, boards, like just getting yourself prepared for 2025. Month of February was about love. I got a lot of comments from you guys. Thank you so much. It's encouraging. And just to know that it's helping someone out there, not just me talking just to talk, right? So March, because it's spring, this is the time that things are planted, right? Or that you declutter. So I want to use that analogy, and I have come into the title for the podcast for the month of March is going to be preparing for what you prayed for. Okay. So the verse we're going to use is grounded in Isaiah 54:2. We all pray for new seasons, greater opportunities, and answered prayers. But the real question is, are we truly ready for what we're asking God for? So today's focus is on the first part of Isaiah 54:2. So the Bible verse says this: enlarge the place of your tent, stretch your tent curtains wide, do not hold back, lengthen your cords, strengthen your stakes. All right, so enlarge the place of your tent. What does that mean? So when God tells us to enlarge the place of our tent, he's saying get ready for more. You can't step into a new season with the same old capacity. If you're asking God to bring you greater things, you have to make space for them. So that's either mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Those are all areas that you have to make room for, space for them. So you can think about it like this. We all can relate to this analogy. If you were expecting guests to come to your home, you wouldn't leave your house cluttered, right? I really hope not, but right? You'd clean up, you'd create space, and make sure everything is in order so they have room when they arrive. The same goes for our lives, y'all. Like, if we want to receive more from God, we have to prepare in advance. So, I will say that after doing the fast, the 21-day fast, God spoke to me on some old habits that I have. And I have had to give up one in particular. And it's not tough, but it's tough, because there's a subconscious habit and there's some toxic beliefs around it. And so I have been in the last 2 years, like, not being involved in it as much as I once was. But if I want what's coming from God, especially with my book, with my brand, with using his name, I can't be that same Brandy that I was, right? Because I need to make room, and if there's no room, how does God move? So I'm having to make room. So if you also see that, if there's conviction, like, God will speak to you through people, through convictions, through messages, through his word. I mean, there's so many ways that God can talk to you. Circumstances, you have to be tuned in. And most of us know what we need to do. It just, you're like, God, really? God, really? Because it's usually the things you really don't want to get rid of that he's asking you to get rid of. Okay? So I'm here with this. Okay? So practical ways to enlarge your tent. So how do we make room for what we're praying for? So number 1, clear out what no longer fits. Are there things in your life, habits, distractions, toxic relationships that are taking up space but not serving your growth? It might be time to let them go. Example, if you're asking for new friendships, are you still holding on to people who drain you? That's just one example. Habits, like I just spoke about. I had not a good habit, and I had a toxic belief around why I was using the habit. Why was I doing it? And I'm having to debunk my beliefs, and I'm having to say no and not do so, right? And learn what life looks like without it. And it no longer fits me anymore. It fits who I was a few years ago, and I believe I've outgrown it longer than this time of me letting it go. I've just been holding on to it because it became a part of me, right? That I felt like, nah, I need it. But sometimes, and this has happened to me, God asks you to remove something and you don't do it, he will start making it not as enjoyable as it once was. Yeah, that's happened to me, y'all. That's happened to me. So get rid of, you gotta do an inventory. Like we do our closets. Oh, I haven't worn this in 6 months, or this don't fit no more, or this is, not part of how I want to dress. However you do it, you get rid of it. And so you have to also do that with inventory of your mind, your heart, your body, your spiritual, your relationships. You gotta take inventory. So that's the first one. Second, create margin in your schedule. Sometimes we ask God for more, but our schedule is so packed that we don't even have time to receive it. That's one work of the enemy, busyness. Because just because you're busy don't mean you're productive. Just because you're busy don't mean that you're being productive. God is not asking us to be so busy we don't have time for him. We don't even have time to pray or even look for the answered prayers or have time for our families. We're always tired. We're so involved in so many ministries. We're just always serving, but we don't have anybody pouring into us. Like I've said this many times, you can't pour from an empty cup. And that is one strategy of the enemy, is keeping us busy. That's a whole other podcast. Busy. What you busy doing? Scrolling, watching reels, watching videos, being on YouTube, being on Facebook, being on TikTok, being on Instagram. But you're not making room for God? Come on, y'all. We got to do better as believers. So you've got to have time management and you've got to make margin in your schedule. You can't be a workaholic. Can't be always let's say an alcoholic, right? You can't just always be every weekend. Now you're partying and now you don't have time for God. You can't put things before God. You've got to make time and you've got to make space for him to be able to move, right? So start evaluating your commitments. Are you making time for the things that truly align with where God is leading you? Is he telling you to be in 6 or 7 different ministries? Is he telling you to work 2, 3, 4 jobs? Do you need a side hustle? Do you still need a 9 to 5? Do you need all this time and you're exhausted? Is that really God or is it you? So you got to start evaluating your commitments. Are your children running you? They're taking you here, there, here. You are all over the place. Yes, our children are important, but they shouldn't come above God. Okay? So those are just examples of where you can start looking to margin your schedule. 3, shift your mindset to expect more. Most of us want just the bare minimum. Just get me through, God. I'm barely making it. Nah, man, we trying to flourish. We trying to win. We are trying to have an abundant life. Isn't that what Jesus came for? To bring us abundance, okay? So expanding your life isn't just physical. It's mental and emotional too. You have to ask yourself, am I thinking small when God is trying to enlarge my vision? I'm telling you, some of us just ain't even thinking right. We thinking so small. Nah, man, you gotta think big. We serve a big God. So we have to have bold, big prayers, big visions. I have a vision. I want to be a trillionaire. I don't even want to be a billionaire. I want to be a trillionaire. Maybe even past a trillionaire, whatever word that is, right? That's big. That's a big God. Our God is above time, space, matter. He created everything. So let's start thinking big, okay? So reflection and application. This week, take some time to evaluate your space. Ask yourself, what do I need to release to make room for what I'm praying for? Am I holding on to things that no longer serve me? If God sent the answer to my prayer today, would I be ready to receive it? If God sent the answer to my prayer today, would I be able to receive it? Would you? Or are you so busy you wouldn't even see it? Or that toxic relationship is distracting you? Or those habits you've been drinking, smoking, sexing, gossiping, drama, whatever, overthinking, worrying. anxiety, like anxiety induced thoughts. You get yourself into anxiety. You make your heart pound in your chest with all the what ifs. Like, those are toxic habits. How can you get something from God then? Some of those things we've outgrown, but we're still holding on, right? Because God wants to bless you. God wants to see you win. He don't want to see you wrapped up in the world. He don't want to see you caught up in the enemy snare and attacks. You know, he don't want to see you taking L after L after L, being so tired you ain't got strength for nothing else, not even yourself, let alone him. So, but he's asking for you to make room. Make room. And it's time to clear out, clean up, and prepare, because what you prayed for is coming. It's coming. You just got to make room for it. So, I'd love to hear how you're making room in your life this week. Send me a message, drop a comment, share this episode with someone who needs encouragement. And don't forget to tune in to next week as we dive into the next part of Isaiah 54:2, stretching your tent curtains wide. So, one thing I am doing that I heard from a morning call of prayer that I'm on with one of the pastors from my church. So, since we did the fast, right, he said that we need to get into a routine of fasting. And a couple people chimed in and were saying that they do a fast in like the beginning of every month. You know, some people said 3 days, some people said 5, some people said a week, some people said 1 day. So it's very loose. Like, it's not a strict way. There's not a right or wrong, but it's just how can you do it. So I want to start doing that, because this fast, y'all, though it was some hard times in it, and then there was also some great revelation and freedom that came from it. I want to like stay in tune with that. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fast the beginning of every month, the rest of this year. That is space that I'm making. I'm making room for him to move. I'm not quite sure how many days or what it's going to look like yet. I'm going to work on that today and like just see. I'm not eating, but I definitely want to I've been praying on it, and then I'm looking at, you know, the time frame. Just not sure of my time frame yet. I know I definitely want to start at 3 days and then see where I go from there. But yeah, I mean, that's something definitely to do. If you haven't fasted before, definitely DM me. I mean, I'm not no experienced faster, but I have done it more than a few times over the last 5.5 years that I've been following Jesus. So I've got a little bit of sense to it. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to do to make room, you know. Also, the habit that I gave up, you know, and making room, because I want what God has for me. And I don't want to continue living without his abundance, without his presence, without his glory, without what he says he came to give me, right? So I hope this has encouraged y'all. This kind of was a little bit longer podcast than I normally do. I try to cap it at 15 because all of us have so much going on. A lot of us don't like to watch things too long. So I hope this was just right. And I will see y'all on the next episode. Toodles!